Hello, I hope you're so well. Today I am here with you to talk all about the key things I considered when I started building my brand new website I launched last week for my art. I'm Lucy and I love to share the experiences I'm having every week in growing and building my art business, whether it's building a new website or trying a new sales technique or trying to grow my audience and get more visible, which are all the things that can feel hard, but are really important when it comes to growing a sustainable creative business. So, like I said, I launched this website last week. This has been a number of years in the making. I had my existing website with Squarespace. This is also built in Squarespace. I started my original one in 2017, so it was very outdated. The technology had changed a lot, and the whole structure of it was just not feeling aligned with where I'd got to. I'd progressed so much in the last few years so far as what I was doing and offering, and I really wanted to represent that in a really professional, wow way when people came to my site. So I just want to talk you through what I considered second time round after doing it once, after kind of watching a lot of other artists, learning a bit about key things around website design and learning the mindset of how people navigate and psychologically move through a website to get the best results moving forward. So, like I say, I've made this on Squarespace. I really like their templates. They're very easy to use. I like the fact that there's different plans to have e-commerce capability. I guess that's the first thing to start with. If you're going to build a website, make it so you can receive payment online. Don't just create a gallery. If you're going to go through the effort, have e-commerce capability, because when you have that, it opens up this whole world of ease for you to put out marketing materials, whether it's on Instagram or at an event, and direct people to your site to buy straight away. There's no hurdles. People want that really easy buy. They want the easy purchase, so they don't have to think about it like, oh, great, all the prints are here. I can choose the size. Right, shipped to my door. Fantastic, it's done. So, first things first, really think about if you're going to do this, if you're going to make the effort, go the e commerce way. Now, I'm not a website design guru, by the way. I'm not a pro at this, but I have built this alongside. I have a VA who supports me with a lot of my tech side of things to just help me get it done. However, I know for a fact that this technology was easy enough for me to have done the whole thing if I needed to myself and I had the time. So, very intuitive, very easy to build something like this now because they have so many great templates. And even if you're just starting out, again, whether you choose Squarespace or Shopify or Wix or whoever you might go with, they all generally have good templates now. And again, like I said, I love the polished look of a Squarespace template. I'm going to show you some examples, and that's why. And I knew their system, so that's why I just decided to keep it simple and just continue with a platform I knew. But there's lots of good options out there available to you. But I'm going to just for the sake of this, I'm going to show you Squarespace because I know it and I can just show you some examples of how quickly you could actually build something like this for yourself. So just going to Squarespace website, I've just jumped straight onto their payment options. And I just wanted to give you an idea of how cheap this can be. So if you just want a basic plan, you can pay, I'm in New Zealand and it will convert this to wherever you're at so far as money per month. But $19 a month to get going. And that's with a template. And you can see here, I would read this very carefully because, you know, the difference between $19 and $31 a month isn't a lot, but you might get something you really need in that. So look through all the key things that they're offering with it, and you'll see that there's some clear stuff that just isn't included with the $19 package, but is in the 31 per month package. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is $19 a month is not a lot to do this, to have this going in the background. And you just have to make one very small print sale to cover that. That would be in my case. I understand we're all selling different things, but for me, it's one print sale and $19 a month of one of my smallest prints. The profit there is easily covering that cost. So this isn't. I think if cost is a barrier for you, I highly recommend the benefit you can get from having this running and directing people to your site far outweighs that cost. So go to every provider will have this comparison. So go and check this out. I also just wanted to show you the templates that you can find here. So if we go to their products, I'm going to go to website templates, and I just want to give you an example of how many templates they have ready to roll, ready for you to just populate your details. You don't have to build something from scratch. They have all of these very beautiful templates ready to roll and ready for you just to add your own photos, your own words, your own links. Now, down here on the left, I'll just select art. There's different categories, so I'll select art and design for the sake of us being creatives. And you'll see here there's some templates that will best reflect artists and how they can present their art. So my last one, no, it wasn't on this one. I can't remember what template I used actually in the end, but you'll see here, I mean, this is already set up. Montclair's already set up for like a fine art painter printmaker, and they've got their products immediately on the front page there. Otherwise, something more like what I've created where you've got the banner photo here spotted is quite cool. I like the look of that one. And you'll just keep moving through. Ventura, perfect, I think, just to get going. So let's just say we go with Ventura, and I'm going to say it will immediately give you a color palette to choose it. So say my art maybe is best represented by that one. You can customize colors later, by the way. You'll explore all of that if you decide to go with this process. And I would imagine that most platforms, this will look similar in the way you work through updating and tweaking and personalizing templates. But if you're just trying to start and you're really blocked with starting, because this is the conversation I have with with artists all the time. I really want a website to professionalize what I'm doing, and I'm so overwhelmed with the idea of creating it. It is honestly, I'm not a hugely techie person. I've got a lot better over the years because I've had to. I know as a small business owner, I need to be good at this. I need to practice these skills. But even if you're not that techie, it is very intuitive. So it will literally take you through these steps to just start populating this template. Okay, so starting, just to show you how simple this editing is, you choose what block you want to edit. So I'm going to edit this one, and I'm going to just click on the pen tool to edit, and I'm just going to put in Lucy Melville, oh goodness, typing, artist, and automatically I've already got a template that's me. Now I add a few nice photos and I've got a shop page, which I can do later. Then you're already kind of, that's how simple it can be in the sense of just using a template. You can also add a logo here if you just wanted a logo instead of just words. But for the sake of simplification, edit section and then the background, and then I want to replace this image. I've got a library, so I'll just add something from, oh no, not on this one, I don't. I'm going to replace this image with, update it with this one here, and you're going to have to just edit it to make it, oh, file was too large, this is going off. But you'll have your images that work for you and look good based on, you know, the blocks you want to create. And you just work through and you just edit each section. You click on the next section, you edit it. You click on the next section, you edit it. So immediately there, we've got a nice block that has got my art up there. Here, you just have a summary of what your art is, who you are. An example of what I've done here is this block here, where bold color and shape meet the soul of nature, and that summarizes me. So you want people to come, immediately have a wow image at the top that shows what the kind of work you do, and then a summary of what you create. And then you start to have blocks where, like, I have my collections. Again, I'll just show you how that looks. I've got a bit of a meet the artist about me next. You can choose to add that block, but other than that, you can just go straight into your painting collections or your ceramics collections or whatever you create, and you start populating the offers so that people can navigate really easily, very quickly from your homepage. That's what your homepage should be. But the point I'm trying to make from what I'm showing you here, I'm not trying to populate a new website straight away here. I'm just trying to show you how intuitive this is now. So when I move to the section, I can kind of move these around. I can make it smaller and bigger. I could leave that there, and then also, oh no, I don't want to add a block. I won't do too much because I'll just end up confusing you, but you can add things, you can add links, just clicking on things and editing with this little edit tool. You add links there, direct people straight to where you want to go. But the point I'm trying to make, the templates are already designed to be appealing. So if you're just wanting to get going, there's no reason why you just don't stick with the template. Do not edit it except for personalizing it. So here, these 2 blocks are your products, takes people straight to your shopping pages, which you'll create later. Here, you've got your monthly newsletter sign up, and then your header and, your footer, which will have some, formalities at the bottom. But you can build something quite fast. And I think that is a game changer with technology these days, because as much as technology can be scary and it can feel, as artists, perhaps it's kind of creating problems, it's actually really making our lives easier as artists. So I encourage you just to have a look at what's available. Like I say, so many so many website platforms to choose from, but Squarespace, I know, I can vouch for how the simplicity, the beauty of the templates, and if you're just wanting to get going for 19 New Zealand dollars a month, great start. So anyway, just going back to the homepage and the importance of this, my old homepage just didn't encapsulate all the things I offer now. And what I wanted my homepage to capture is everything in one page, so that people are just 2 clicks away from finding what they want. So as they scroll down, bang, they know there's some nice photos, they know what I'm about. This is what Lucy creates. An immediate button to just go to my shop page where they can see all my products. So if they don't want to go through all the other fluff, they just want to immediately see what I have to offer, they click on that. And then meet the artist. So it's an about me, a really short sentence, but they click here and they get taken to my about me page. So your homepage is really important, but your about me page is also really important. I'm going to click here. It will take you to the page I've created, which gives a much more detailed story of who I am now. Before, it was just kind of this, hello and welcome, this is me, sign up to my email list. But what I've done now is I've taken the time to write a story about me and why I paint and what's happened in my life. And people were taken on a journey, and this is a fantastic way to connect with people and get them to go, gosh, I feel like I kind of know Lucy now, even though I don't really know her very well. There's a video of me here talking about one of my works, but I want this page to make people go, I feel like I kind of have some connection with what she's about now. And then once I start to work through my collection, so again, my homepage, we're back here now, they can go straight to my paintings here, straight to my prints. I've separated my prints, geometric and nature, quite different. My cards and gifts, and then straight to testimonials. So people are just going, they land here, this is Lucy, what she's about, this is a bit about her story, here's all the things she's offering, here's what people who have bought those offers are saying, because this is social proof. This is really important, that part of getting people over the line, of realizing you're legitimate. You're not just taking people for a ride or creating things that aren't quality. These people are having great experiences, so you want to share that. There's a place for them to sign up to my email list. If you haven't got an email list, don't worry. This can be your push to get that going later. Focus on just getting the website done if you're going to do this. It's very easy to go, oh, I should have that, I should have this. But focus on just getting the core stuff around who you are, what you've got to offer going first. Mine goes into a lot of detail because I have a lot to offer now. So not only am I offering people who love art things, but I'm offering artists like yourself tutorials like this, both free and paid here. So I've got some of my most popular freebie here. This paid offer, The Artist Awakening, this $9 US dollar course, which is just my really high value for $9 US. There's 18 videos. It's all my foundational stuff on being visible, getting my mind in the right place, making sales. This for me is like, I need every artist to see this stuff because it's so good. It's so important. My free Facebook community, where you get lots of insights and engagement and great conversation with now nearly 700 artists at this point. And my toolkit, so my business toolkit, where I put together all the things I use in my business that I just want artists to be able to use without hassle, templates and strategy and how to make money and how to plan to hit goals and actually achieve them. And then again, social proof. So it's like, what are you offering? And where's the proof that this stuff is good, that it makes a difference, that it's really wonderful to own or have? And then I've just added a link to my podcast because this podcast gives a bit of a story of my journey. Again, it's that connection around who you are and what you're offering as well. And this footer is on every page. So people can go straight to my Instagram and join my newsletter on every page. So homepage, really important, just to hit all the key things of who you are, what you offer, join my email list. So that template I showed you before really just covers, I think there's only 4 blocks on that. And if you just do that alone, that's a really great start to look really professional. So that's the second thing I would say. We've talked about talking about your story on your About Me page. The homepage is really important. The one thing that I knew was terrible on my last website is the mobile view. And I'm going to take you to the back end of my website to show you what I mean. So this is my website in the editing place I can edit. And I just want to show you now. Well, first of all, I want to talk about why this is so important. Most people now will click on links on Instagram through their phones. So they're going to be viewing your website through their phone. So what does it look like? My old website looked terrible. It was all over the place. It looked great like this on a desktop, but not on my phone. So the beauty about Squarespace is that I'm in desktop view right now. I can click up here, mobile view, and it will take me to what it looks like on somebody's mobile. So I can go, oh, what does the toolbar look like? Yep, okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, and then I can go back to my homepage. Start to scroll through. Does it all look how I want it to look? I can edit it on this button here and move things around. So before, when I went from desktop at the very beginning, there were gaps and there were kind of the photos had been muddled up with the text and I had to move it all around. So like I say, just like before, it's very easy to move these blocks up and down or make them bigger or smaller, and I want this section to be a bit longer to have some more space, so I can do that. So it's very easy to edit this here, but this part is so important because this is how probably 90% of people are going to view your work these days on their mobile. So please, 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 if you're creating a website, what does it look like on mobile view? You don't want loads and loads of words. You want it to be really nicely broken up. If you have lots of words like the testimonials here, there's space and it's clear that there's, a key message behind each of those that will entice people to keep reading. But you want this to look really seamless and really enjoyable to scroll through. This is what my dad said when he saw this. He said, I don't know anything about website design, but I really love how I can just scroll through and what's next? What's next? It's kind of like being on social media. It's like, what's the next thing I can see here? So that's probably one of the biggest things I knew I needed to get better at or just get right on this with this process is the mobile version. I'm going to exit here now. So like I say, just to recap where we've got to, please, please, please go e-commerce. Please pay for the e-commerce. I really would question the value in, if you were going to start today and build a website, I'd question why you wouldn't do that. So please, please get that capability going so you can get sales moving through your site. Have a really great About You page that tells a story, and you can find that from your homepage along with all the things you offer on your homepage. So just go through that and have your collections really easily visible. And then the last thing we talked about there was the mobile view. So important to get mobile view really, really good. We also, a few final things as well. Just have lots of buttons really scattered across that take people through different parts of your site. You really want people navigating because, again, that increases the visibility of your site so far as the activity on your website. So make sure there's lots of buttons for people to navigate to different pages. So if people click here, they get taken straight to my gift section, and that will, you want people to keep clicking on these things because the more clicks you get, the more activity that's registered through the internet, which is what we really want to get more visible. So that's also a really good one to think about. We talked about email sign up. Please sort that out or get that going if you haven't done it. If that's going to be a block to building your website, don't worry about it. Get the website going first, and then you can add that later. But really consider having this on your website as soon as you can. And finally, just to go back to the social proof, what we talked about before, collect some testimonials from people who have bought from you. And make sure you scatter those around your website. So it's really good if somebody's on the edge of going, I really do like this. Do I buy it? Do I buy it? And then they come down here and then they go, oh, I was looking at After Dark myself, and this person, Louis, he bought this and he really loved it. Okay, great. I know it's great. I'm going to get it. So that can just be the final thing that pushes people over the edge to make a purchase. So I know I've jumped around and talked about a whole heap of things because there are, and I think this is why it feels overwhelming because there can be a whole heap of things to cover off. But I'm going to create a little checklist of these core. I think I've covered probably 7 or 8 things that I highly recommend you just keeping in mind. But I guess the final message I really want to give to you is don't hesitate and just taking the plunge to do this. And the way I would do this and the way I got it done in the last month is I said, right, I'm getting my new website done and I'm not doing anything else until it's finished. It's kind of like right, I'm literally cutting myself off from anything else fun that I want to do. I've got to get it done. And I got it done in the end. Yes, there needs to be tweaks and it's not going to be perfect. And on that note, I'm going to have a reminder in my diary every month to update it and change it and add things because that's really good for not only for viewer interest but for your the way your website is picked up. You know how we talked about people moving around and clicking on different buttons. We really want that engagement constantly going with new things. So I will have a reminder to be updating and adding little things that I haven't quite got around to every month so that I spend an hour or two making sure my website is always looking really up to date and really exciting to visit. But I will summarize those things in a checkpoint list, and you can then feel confident to just go ahead and take the plunge and do this. And like I say, use January to be, I'm recording this in November, so you may watch this many months ahead, but I'm giving you an example of use a quieter month to go, I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do anything else until it's finished. And you'll be so thrilled that you did because this will really start to tell people that A, you're serious, it will make you look professional and you'll be really proud of it, and it will help you make sales so much easier, so much easier. So the financial benefit of this will be great. If you're already on Instagram and you're starting to talk about your work, well, you have a place to immediately direct them and get the sale coming through. So I'll leave on that. If you're thinking about it, go for it, do it, make this the time you do it, make this your sign. Like I say, I really love Squarespace. I'm not affiliated with them anyway, so I know I've been going on about it. There's lots of other options, but if you're getting overwhelmed about the options and that's stopping you from doing anything, I highly recommend you just choose something. It's not forever. You can change your website in 2 or 3 years, but start with it, get it moving. Like you can see from what I showed you before, templates are super easy to use now. And I think if you put 10 to 15 hours aside, you get it done. You get a really great website looking professional and ready to make you sales and get people into your zone. Okay, I hope you found this really useful. Let me know your feedback as always in the comments, and I will see you soon.